Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go.
If you ever felt like losing weight meant you had to stop going out, you had to stop traveling, you had to stop drinking, guys, that is the wrong way to think about weight loss, because you don't have to give up any of these things, okay? Even as a coach, y'all, I travel. I actually like traveling. You know, a couple of months back, I went out to Puerto Rico, and you know, a lot of people would think, man, he must go sabotage your results. He must go end up gaining a lot of weight. That couldn't be any further from the truth, y'all. Okay, and a lot of my coaching clients also travel. I had a couple of clients who went on cruises recently, and there's a couple of things I told them, because most people, they get how can I say it? They get anxious when they get ready. They on their weight loss journey, but they're like, maybe I need to start this weight loss program, my weight loss journey, like after I get done traveling. And most times when people think this way, you know, they push it off. And what tends to happen is those habits that they've had leading up to, you know, going on that vacation, they end up getting worse. And that person ends up gaining more weight. And so what I'm going to do is teach you what habits you need to have now, you know, throughout your weight loss journey. And so that way, even when you travel, you don't have to worry. You don't have to stress. You don't have to be like, dang, I'm about to gain so much weight, okay? And so the first thing is this, flexible fat loss nutrition, guys, okay? Flexible fat loss nutrition. This is something that I teach my coaching clients, where I'm able to show them how to eat foods they prefer to eat, but showing them like, okay, here's the priority. Here's the thing you need to focus on, and here's the thing you don't need to focus as much on, okay? Let me give you an example. So with the way I teach my members how to eat, breakfast and lunch, very low calorie, lean meals, okay? Low calorie, lean meals. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about you eat some type of protein for your breakfast and a fruit, okay? Or you can even have some type of healthy fats like an avocado. And then same thing for lunch. Very lean. You eat some type of protein. Let's say it's salmon. But with that salmon, you're eating some type of vegetable. Let's say it's asparagus. And then in the evening time, because most of my members, we tend to have social lives. Okay? That's where our heavier meal is going to be at. And so on the earlier part of our day, we eat less. And so we have more cushion and grace to eat bigger meals. All right? That way you have that flexibility to eat a bigger meal, whether you traveling, going to business meetings, or if you just want to eat with the fam. You want to eat a bigger meal with the fam. Now, with dinner, you're going to have that protein, you're going to have that vegetable, but hey, let's say you want to have a little bit of pasta. Let's say you want to have some sweet potatoes, some French fries, or something like that with your meal. You can do that because you haven't really ate that much earlier in the day. See what I'm saying? That's just one strategy that I use in terms of flexible fat loss. All right, flexible nutrition fat loss. And so here's the thing. Even when you travel, I'm about to give y'all another one. Because some people, you want to have a foundation. A lot of people think that you got to do all this fasting stuff to lose weight. Fasting just gives you structure, guys. Fasting doesn't mean you're going to lose weight, because you could be overeating on calories. And even when you break your fast, you start overeating. If you eat too much, you're not going to lose weight. And so if you've ever seen somebody, like I have, who say they've been doing fasting for months, but they still struggle to lose weight, I know that they're not eating the right amount of food when they break their fast. That's all that is, guys. Okay? But when you're traveling, I'm about to give y'all a cheat code right now. With flexible fat loss, normally it's 3 meals a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and maybe 1 or 2 snacks. 1 or 2 lean snacks. But when you're traveling, even when I travel, what happens? we normally have bigger meals, right? We normally don't eat breakfast early in the morning when we travel. We might be sleeping in a little bit, all right? Or we might be, exploring, looking at different things or whatever. And so we normally eat a brunch and a dinner, but these meals are normally way bigger, right? These meals are way bigger. You may have a little bit of alcohol with it, may have a little bit of wine with your meals because you're on vacation, you're traveling. And so instead of eating 3 meals, we just cut it down to 2. Why do you need to eat 3 big ass meals when you could just eat 2 bigger meals and it's going to keep you in a lower amount of calories versus eating 3 big meals? Because when we travel, the meals end up being a lot more because we can't really control the calorie intake. And so you default, whenever you're traveling, just do 2 meals. You don't need 3. All right. And so where do I want to go with this? Because I want y'all to understand this. That's a big part of it. Okay. When you just eat 2 meals, your calorie intake is going to be much less because you know you're going to be drinking if you like drink alcohol. And then you don't need to do a ton of snacking neither. Because if you're snacking throughout the day, yes, that's going to add up on your calories. And so you don't want to do that. Okay? Just eat your main 2 meals, maybe 1 snack like a yogurt or something or a protein shake, and that keeps you closer to your calorie intake. And even if you go over your calorie intake by a little bit when you're traveling, it's cool. Because you know you're not just out here slamming it, eating 3 big ass meals, 2-3 snacks, and drinking sodas and alcohol. That's how folks end up gaining a ton of weight and being like, dang, man, I'm about to travel. I'm about to gain some weight. Yeah, no shit. Look how much you eating and drinking. And so we want to have some type of structure, even when you travel. We're not going to eat the 3 meals and all them big ass snacks, snacking throughout the day. We're going to eat 2 nice sized meals, 1, maybe 2 snacks, and we're going to make sure we staying hydrated. We're going to make sure we drink enough water. Because when you're dehydrated, you default to wanting to eat more food because your energy level is going to drop. You can't think as effectively and efficiently because you dehydrated. All right? You start to feel lethargic. You start to feel tired. You start to feel sleepy. Okay? And so that's the part of the coaching that I teach my members, flexible fat loss. That way you can eat whatever you want to eat, but you can still lose weight. And you understand that you have flexibility with how you're eating. And so sometimes 3 meals a day. Other times when you're traveling, 2 meals a day. Okay? And so that's the nutrition side of things. The other side of things is the training. Most times what I see from most folks is they start a workout program, but they can't stick with it. They're very inconsistent with their workout routine. They may start off doing 5 days a week, but then it falls back to 2 times. Then it goes up to 3. Then fall back to 1 or 2 because their schedule is just all over the place. And so instead, what we want to focus on doing so that we can be consistent is lifestyle-based training. This is what I teach my coaching clients. Lifestyle. That way, the way you're training when you hit the gym, it supports your schedule. If you know you have a demanding schedule, like some of my coaching clients who are in law enforcement, law enforcement can be very spontaneous at times. You have people who are in tech. One of my coaching clients, Lance, he runs a tech business. When you're running a business, it's very mentally demanding. It can be very demanding on your schedule also, And so how do you be able to stay on track with your weight loss goals and not feel disappointed because you couldn't do the workout that day or you can't do the 5 days a week workout? Well, what you do is you develop a workout routine structured around your lifestyle. If you know you can work out bare minimum 4 days a week, that's what you default to doing. If you get in an extra 1 or 2 days that week, let's say you do 5 or 6, that's cool. But you go get 4 in. If you know you can bare minimum work out 3 days a week, that's your non-negotiable. It's on your calendar. And so that way, on a weekly basis, I'm at least going to get this amount in. But if I do have time, I'll do more. But you go get your 3 in, right? And then what I love about coaching that I see that a lot of my members like about coaching, it's flexible. It's based on your lifestyle. Like when I did in-person training, over a decade of in-person training, everybody couldn't work out early in the morning at 6 a.m. Some people had to be at work, or they had to prepare their kids to get them to school and, then drive to work and then go to work, and then maybe they could train later on in the evening. But maybe I didn't have the time slots to train them. And so it becomes inconvenient for those people. But with lifestyle-based training, with coaching, the way that I do it, you can go to the gym whenever you want to. Whether it be in the morning, I have coaching clients who go to the gym in the morning. I have coaching clients who go to the gym in the afternoon. I have coaching clients who go to the gym. I be seeing them checking into their workouts at like 11:30 at night. I be like, damn. But as long as you get the job done, you get the job done. That way you can get the results. But then there's the other people. The people who like, oh man, I missed my workout. If you're just very rigid, you can't be rigid, because when you're rigid, it's like if you miss a workout, you start feeling disappointed. But with lifestyle-based training, if you miss the workout, you just move it to a different day and you get it done. It ain't the end of the world. You just, as long as you do what has to be done within that week, you good. This is how you get the results if you have a very demanding social life. Whether you're traveling, got a lot of meetings and events that you have to do with your business colleagues, your friends, whatever it is, or your family. You don't have to give up your life to be able to lose weight, guys. Like, I still travel, I still go out, and I go on dates or whatever it is. I hang out with my family. My dad has a soul food restaurant. You telling me I'm not gonna eat no soul food no more? Just to keep my abs? No. I'm still gonna enjoy myself. And so you gotta understand, this is a lifestyle. And so you have to start looking at weight loss as a way of life. And I say this because once you lose the weight, the habits have to stay consistent. If you stop doing the habits that allowed you to lose the weight, what do you think is going to happen to your results? The results will go away too. And so this is why I focus on doing lifestyle-based training. This is why I focus on doing flexible fat loss nutrition. That way it works with you and not against you. All right? When you start doing these things, this is how you lose weight and keep it off. If you're always stressed out about if you travel, if you're always stressed out about if you got to go to a dinner meeting or something like that, and you're like, I'm going to end up gaining the weight, you're doing it the wrong way. That is not how this works. If you're always stressed like, oh man, I'm about to go on a birthday vacation, I'm going to gain weight, you're not looking at weight loss the right way. You don't have the right game plan. And until you find the right game plan, you're going to always have anxiety and fear and stress around, social events. Whether it be your birthday, whether it be your traveling, business meetings, whatever it is, you're going to always be stressing about your weight going up. But when you understand the right way to do things around, your lifestyle, around having some flexibility, guys, it becomes easy. This is how you lose it and keep it off. And not even like, I never even think about gaining weight. It's not even a thought, And so you can have these same things by understanding the right way to do things versus just the traditional weight loss things that y'all see on social media, the chicken and broccoli diet. Who the hell want to eat chicken and broccoli on their vacation? Who want to do that? The keto diet. Who want to eat the keto diet when they're on vacation? No. I want to eat some food. I want to enjoy myself. Maybe even drink a little bit of alcohol. And so you got to understand how to do things the right way to be able to enjoy yourself while still seeing the weight come off. All right? Other than that, we out here, guys. Let's get it.
Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.